Obviously, all this she has achieved because she is a very active researcher, and she has delivered guest lectures and workshops conducted by AICT, uh, as a lot of faculty development programs, IEEE summer schools and workshops, and under Center for Development of Advanced Computing, CDAC, and a lot of other engineering colleges in the area of artificial intelligence and machine learning. Her recent work has been published in reputed journals, book chapters, and conference proceedings. During her doctoral studies, she has worked as software engineer and assisted in the project leadership for a funded project by Indian National Center for Ocean Information Services, which is under the Ministry of Earth Sciences, Government of India. She has been awarded University Grants Commission Basic Scientific Research Fellowship, which is under the Government of India, and she has also been a recipient of Women Researcher Award given by the REST Society for International Research. So it's a great honor and a great opportunity for all the members who have registered to be learning from the practitioner and somebody who has had such a rich experience. So I hope you're going to have a fruitful learning experience from Dr. Tilottama. It also gives me immense pleasure to introduce our young achiever, Miss Upunika Barman Roy. She is the second speaker who would also be handholding you with all the sessions and giving you sessions on Google Colab and helping you with all the basic understanding. Ms. Upunika Barman Roy is presently working as a software engineer in Tata Consultancy Services, Bangalore. She is currently working on autonomous vehicle project for an overseas client. She has completed her graduation in electrical and electronics engineering from BVRIT Hyderabad. She has been associated with various projects in machine learning and IoT domain. She has co-authored papers under the guidance of Dr. Tilottama Goswami in IEEE 10Con and IEEE earlier. She has been a resource person in IEEE workshops on machine learning. She has a good level of understanding in various technologies and programming languages. Her aspiration is to seek master's program in the field of data science and continue in the field of research and development in this challenging area. The applications of this particular area, AI and ML, is literally expanding every day. So, irrespective of which vertical you work in, irrespective of which company you work for, obviously there are challenges which are being solved by use of AI and ML. So, I congratulate the students who have registered and the other faculty members who have joined for having chosen to spend your time so effectively and would you would be getting fruitful results of this 2 day workshop. So I hand over further to the organizers and congratulate all the students good and convey my good wishes to all of you.
Thank you,
Thank you,
Professor
ma'am.
Sudha.
Now I request Kavita ma'am, chair of this Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter, to throw some light about this workshop.
Hello, am I audible, Shweta?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. Good morning to one and all. Hope you all are keeping well and safe during these unprecedented times. On behalf of Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter, I, Dr. A. Kavita, Vice Chair, welcome you to this 2 day virtual workshop on machine learning using Python. I'm glad to announce that this workshop has received significant number of registrations from different parts of India. I congratulate Women in Engineering Committee for conducting this event in most sought after topic in academia, industry, and research community. Artificial intelligence is an area of computer science that emphasizes on creation of intelligent machines that work and react like humans. Machine learning is a field of artificial intelligence that uses statistical techniques to give ability to learn from data without being explicitly programmed. I thank resource persons of the workshop, Dr. Tilottama Goswami, Professor of Computer Science, Anurag University, and Chair Women in Engineering, Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter, and Ms. Uponika Burman Roy, Software Engineer, TCS, for accepting our invitation. I am sure that Dr. Tilottama, with her vast experience as an active researcher in the areas of artificial intelligence, and Ms. Uponika, with her participation in various machine learning projects, will provide enriching sessions to the workshop participants. On behalf of the chapter, I appreciate Ms. Sweta Perasu, Vice Chair, Women in Engineering, Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter, for choosing thrust topic and bringing practitioners as resource persons who are well versed with machine learning. Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter was chartered on 6th April 2020 with the objective of promoting and advancing computing and intelligence for humanity. In this endeavor, our chapter would be disseminating knowledge and skills that are required to excel in the areas of computing. The chapter proposes to conduct webinars, workshops, conferences, and tutorials on topics that are relevant in building a successful career. Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter has committees for distinguished lectures, education activities, women in engineering, technology management, membership development, professional activities, student activities, conference development, nominations, industry relations, and program coordination. Till date, the chapter has organized 4 webinars by eminent resource persons from academia and industry. Chapter is striving to impart knowledge for reaching depth and breadth in the areas of computing by conducting various events. Women in Engineering Committee is an important part of Hyderabad Deccan chapter, which has been very active in conducting webinars and workshops since the inception of the chapter. Apart from webinars, we has conducted several workshops. This is the second in their series. I congratulate Women in Engineering team for taking up workshop to impart knowledge in thrust area. The contents of the workshop are well designed to cover important aspects of machine learning and to offer hands-on experience for implementing machine learning concepts using Python. I request all the participants to register to Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter for receiving updates about the upcoming events. I request our workshop organizer, Ms. Sweta Perasu, to share URL with the participants to register for the chapter. I wish that all the participants utilize this opportunity to enrich their knowledge in machine learning through their active participation. I hope that participants will extend their support and cooperation for the chapter's future events too. Once again, on the behalf of Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter and my personal behalf, I thank our resource persons, Professor Tilotama and Ms. Uponika Roy, for accepting our chapter's invitation. And I also congratulate Women in Engineering Committee Vice Chair Ms. Sweta Parasu for organizing this 2-day workshop on machine learning using Python. I wish you all happy learning in these 2 days and later on. I thank Women in Engineering and Hyderabad Deccan ACM chapter for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
Thank you so much, madam, for your valuable words and encouraging words. Definitely, I'll share the link to join our chapter. That means that you'll just become a member so that you'll get the updates about our events. That's it. It is not a ACM membership. I'll share that in the chat box. All those who are interested can register for that. Now I request, and I am very thankful to the 2 resource persons, Uponika madam and Tilotama madam, for accepting our request. And I request you to take over the session. Before that, there are some instructions to the participants. The sessions will go according to the schedule which is given in the flyer. So I request people to go through the flyer, participants to go through the flyer. And please mute your audio and video, and please switch off your video. And you need your personal Gmail account to do your assignments, that is through Google Classroom, in Google Classroom and Google Colab. Don't use your organizational mail IDs. That is one of the important things which you have to take a note. And from 10 a.m. to 11:15, you'll have introduction of ML and Python programming. Then from 11:15 to 11:30, you'll have a break, and at 11:30, you'll have another session where there will be demonstration of Python programming till 12:30. So this is the schedule which we are going to follow. Now I request Tilokama Madam and Upamika Burman Roy Madam to take over the sessions.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Chair Dr. Naresh, sir, ACM Hyderabad Deccan Chapter, uh, Professor Sudha, Professor Kavita, Professor Shweta ma'am, and all the Executive Council members to give us this opportunity uh, for conducting the online workshop. Yes, and also I would like to thank Uponika for taking time from her busy schedule, official time. And first of all, my heartfelt thanks to all participants. Here, first of all, AI, ML, it's a revolution. It has created a revolution from 1955 onwards, and still we think it's a revolution. So yeah, the time frame also, it's a sort of a moving time frame. Still we are seeing this as a revolutionary field in the in our automation world. The another thing is, in 2 days, giving a glimpse of AI, ML, the theory, implementation, applications in 2 days. So really it's a challenging, and at the top of it, it's virtual, but still the show must go on. And we have designed, myself and Upanika have designed the whole program where we need your active participation. Then we will be able to um, actually the outcome workshop outcome we are expecting at the end of the workshop, you will be able to implement a end-to-end ML project, either classification or regression or clustering. So how is it possible? See, first of all, when we are saying machine learning, you should know the foundations, where from it has come. So it is related to AI. So I will be taking you from the history, the how the AI has evolved, and why this machine learning word has come, why it is not only AI. Then suddenly AI and ML, why it is there. So we'll come to know the ML part. Now in ML also, the machine learning also, there are three categories of users. One are who are all the time trying to find out the how to the crux between the crux of automation using statistical tools. So the statisticians who are working on the machine learning. Then there are programmers who are interfacing the whole concept to the end user. So there are ML programmers. Another is the practitioners. Who are practitioners? They may or may not use programming tools. If they use programming tools, they are having lot of flexibility in also putting in the algorithms. If they use tools, that ready-made tools, then they are just using the input, and depending on their task, they are getting the output. So this is ML practitioners. So now to balance the whole thing, because from a participant background, we don't know how many are statisticians, how many are programmers, and how many are actually practitioners who are going to use the ready-made model into practice and give to the user. Okay. So we have to be very clear what is our role in future and what is our vision in future. What we want to do with ML for the students, especially what you want to do, whether you want to be a practitioner, whether you want to be a programmer, whether you want to really work on the statistics part of it, There are huge scope in each and every part. Now, from which part the workshop has been designed? The workshop has been designed as for the ML practitioners. Okay, so if I say ML practitioners, I am not going into the mathematical background. Hello?
Tilotama madam, sorry to disturb you.
Yeah.
Your audio is not clear. Participants are saying that it's not clear. Your voice is breaking. Tiponika madam.
Okay. Is it now clear? Is it clear now?
No madam, there is some audio problem. It is breaking.
Oh. Where now only it is breaking, or for the past
From
5
starting,
minutes?
from the past
Oh.
5 to 10 minutes.
Okay, okay. Wait. Now is it okay?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Speak
So,
a sentence or a two so that we'll understand.
yeah. So we have designed this workshop from the ML practitioner's point of view. Is it now audible?
Yes, ma'am.
So ML practitioners. Okay. So ML practitioners' point of view, we won't go in depth with the mathematical background. So we also won't go in depth with a lot of programming stuff, but we will be teaching you or showing you the way how to have a end-to-end ML project for the task of regression, clustering, or classification. So I will start off with my presentation. I hope you are all able to see the screen, my presentation screen. Any one of you can tell me?
Yes, ma'am. But no PPT is seen, ma'am. Just the presentation. Tilotama Goswami. Yes, now it is okay. I request all the participants to pin on the Tilotama Goswami madam presentation. There is a pin here, pin to screen, so that you'll not have any obstructions in the middle.
Okay, now is it okay? Please mute your audio and video also.
Madam, again your voice is breaking. They are saying, please.
Hello. 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 Are you able to hear me?
Hello, madam.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, hear you, but voice is breaking, madam. It is not clear. Just you go to audio connections and select in high definition audio. There is some option like that, madam.
But is it? I am able to hear all of you.
Now it is okay, madam. Let it be like this.
Yeah. Maybe network is a problem. Now is it okay?
Yes, ma'am.
If it is not okay, so
Okay.
our agenda is, as I told you, I'll tell you about in brief, the AI ML, the relationship, why we need ML when and what is AI, and integral aspects of the ML model training, and we will go through the applications of the AI ML algorithms. So this is the artificial intelligence history
where we started with the 1950, and we'll talk something about the Turing test, where the computer scientist Alan Turing proposed a test for machine intelligence. Finally, artificial intelligence, we are trying to compete with the human's intelligence. So when we can tell that the machine is more intelligent than the human or as equal intelligent as human, so there should be some test. So that is called the Turing test. So we'll see how to do the Turing test and what is the situation now in the Turing test. Then coming to the artificial intelligence, the word was coined by John McCarthy in 1955. 1964, the first chatbot, Eliza, was created. So now you know all about the chatbots. But in 1964, the first chatbot was designed. 1989, again, we already started with the neural networks for the autonomous vehicles. Then in 2002, an autonomous robotic vacuum cleaner, it was initiated. In 2017, the world champion KG was defeated by the machine AlphaGo. So if you see, there are success stories from long back, some 7 decades back. So, but still we can say, this is, I won't go in details with the years, still there was a downtime in AI also. If you see 1988 to 93, there was downtime, the downtime is also called AI winter. So in the AI winter, it was actually it happened that the neural network started, but they were not able to solve the non-linear problems like the XOR OR problems. So then the multi-layer perceptrons came into picture. After this 1985 to 95, the neural networks picked up again. So when we face some problems which we are not able to tackle, and there is certain slow time in that particular field. So like that, there was one AI winter. So in the definitions of AI, there are 4 categories. So when we are saying about artificial intelligence, what is its what is its definition then? So it should be able to think humanly, think rationally, acting humanly, acting rationally. So now if we say that, are we all humans able to do all these things? No, not all. So even we also have different IQ levels for different persons. So, but overall, the AI would like to attempt to automate in such a manner the work so that we feel that it is thinking logically and acting logically also. So now for each of these things, you will see there are certain subjects which are related to these percepts, like thinking humanly. So it is related to the cognitive science. Okay, so the cognitive science, cognitive neuroscience, all these subjects are related to the concepts of the thinking humanly. Now you have acted humanly. So here we will see that it's actually a Turing test. So in the Turing test, there will be a human interrogator, and then we will see that human interrogator will be interacting with 2 systems. One is human system, one is the machine system, and will give a task and see the reply. If the reply once he gets the reply, he will think that whether the other side is a human or a computer. If he is able to tell that, okay, this answer has come from human, but it's actually a computer, then obviously then he is bluffed by a computer. So we say no, that now particular program, the computer is more intelligent. So this is called the Turing test. We'll see
in another example I'll show to you. So then think rationally. So the think rationally where we have to have some logic. So there has to be logic. We will be going through different types of inference drawn by the logic system. So here the mathematics and philosophy will come into picture for think rationally. Then comes the acting rationally. So there is a reflex. So when you act, after thinking process, everything is there, we should be able to act also. So all these things finally comes to the total Turing test, where we will be using the vision as well as the actions. So that is in the robotics. So now this is a very interesting thing. Like when I say this particular task is very tough, say for example, the Go problem, the AlphaGo was the computer defeated the human being. But now if I say the AlphaGo is very difficult, we cannot say, because it has already been attempted by the computer and it is doing the best. So at every era, each era, the tasks are actually differently modeled by telling that this is easy or difficult. This is actually a perception depending on that era. So now, for example, the Mars mission. Yes, the Mars mission still has to happen. So once the moon mission has happened, so at 2020 we can say now Mars mission is one which we want to achieve. So that's why the artificial intelligence in 1955, the tasks which were next to impossible, we were trying to automate that with the computer. But again in 2000, the same problem is no more a challenge. So that's how we say the state of art algorithms, the state of art algorithms in automating certain computer vision tasks, artificial intelligence tasks, you will see algorithms are way back in 40 decades. So in 4 decades, certain things, algorithms still are valid, but certain algorithms have to be improvised. So here, major components of AI is finding whatever knowledge for whatever task you have.
I'm sorry to disturb you again. The problem is coming. Voice is breaking, madam. Audio is not clear.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Now is it okay?
It is okay, but when you are in the flow, sometimes it is getting disturbed.
Okay, okay. So the 4 components are there: knowledge, reasoning, language understanding, and learning. So first you have to represent the knowledge, and there will be some rule book for doing the reasoning. Then you have to communicate. So that is called the language understanding. That is the language processing has to be done so that we can communicate to both the parties. And sometimes when you are having uncertainty or incomplete knowledge, then you try to learn from your environment and adapt to the present situation. So all these components form the parts of the AI. So this is the Turing test which we were saying. So here if you say the interrogator is there, player C, interacting with computer player A, human responder player B, and now what are the qualities a machine should pass the test? So basically, if the interrogator says that the player A is a human being, so that means she is cheated. She thinks the way the computer is talking to her or interacting with her, she thinks it's a human because she is not able to see the player A and player B, just able to communicate with the machine. So what are the key qualities? If we are able to know these qualities, then we will be able to also reach the level of the AI. So this is what is real AI in order the computer to learn.
Madam, please check with your audio, madam. Go to settings and change your settings, microphone as well as speakers.
Hello,
Hello, madam.
is it okay now?
When you are saying like this, it is okay, madam. When you are teaching, when you are saying continuously, it is, the voice is not clear.
Okay, I will try to speak slowly then. Hello. Natural language processing, knowledge representation, automated reasoning, machine learning, vision, motor control. So these are the areas where we can work and also try to do the best possible to reach the human intelligence. So each of these, if you see, are tentacles or branches of AI. That is natural language processing, machine learning, computer vision. Each of these areas will have knowledge representation. Each of these will have reasoning, and in case you want to go ahead with the action,
Kilotama, madam. Kilotama, madam.
yes,
Maybe due to a network issue, we are facing this problem, I think. Once you please disconnect and join again, madam.
okay, that is better. Let me do that.
Yes. Hello. We'll wait for another 2 to 3 minutes. Madam will join again.
Is it audible?
Hello, madam.
Is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am, it is audible. To me, it is audible.
Okay.
Someone is saying no, madam. Shabbir Hassan is saying no, madam. Breaking now also. Getting the
Now also.
Someone answered, it's clear for me, ma'am. You can start your presentation.
Okay, okay. I'm so sorry for all this. It's all unexpected. I'm sorry for all this convenience caused. So I hope it is visible to all of you.
Yes, it is visible, ma'am.
Thank you, thank you. Once again, sorry for this. Okay, so the areas of AI we have to work in order to achieve the artificial intelligence. And what is how we can achieve the artificial intelligence? I just now told you by passing the Turing test. How the computer can pass the Turing test? If it is excellent natural language processing, machine learning, computation, robotics, and internally it uses this knowledge representation, automated reasoning to complete the task. So these are the foundations of AI disciplines: philosophy, mathematics, psychology, linguistics, neuroscience, control theory, and last but not the least, the computer science for the automation. So as I told you, once we say human versus computer, if you see here, the whole circle is human behavior. The pink color is human behavior. And the intelligent behavior which we are telling is the blue color. So there is an overlap. It is not all humans are intelligent to maximum level. So this particular purple intersection is the test of intelligence. So the humans can display this unintelligent behavior. This is the red part is unintelligent. And also sometimes
Madam,
blue
one more
color.
suggestion, madam. Since it is audible, it is not clear, madam. But someone is saying login from two devices, one from mobile and other from the laptop, so that audio will be clear. Or else share that PPT to me, madam. I will present, and you can speak.
Okay, okay, okay. I don't know why it has happened. Like
Yes, ma'am.
maybe.
Previously it is good, but now it is happening. Why
Yeah.
it is not understanding.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The PPT, it is. The PPT is. It's seen by everyone. No? That is the problem.
Audio it is
Because I have to have a control on the how to move here and there. So now you want me to. I
join
will
through
connect
mobile
from.
phone, madam. Mobile phone through phone you join.
Okay.
Or else go change the settings. Else.
Okay. How to do that?
Then go to settings. Then your microphone, internal mic and speakers, headphones. That is only there, I think.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Then use a phone for audio. That option is also there, madam. Or else log in through mobile.
High definition audio. I have mentioned high definition audio.
Okay.
All high definition. Okay, now just check.
Hello, madam.
Never happened earlier. Now is it okay?
No, madam, not at all okay.
What is happening now?
Madam, that is because of weak network only. You share the PPT, I'll present, and then you speak. I'll operate, no problem.
Can I share my screen because I already have the PPT?
Okay, okay, madam, you can.
Yeah.
If you have a good network.
Yeah.
Kilota madam, stop sharing your screen.
Okay, okay. Is it audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Now it is audible?
Yes, yes.
Okay. Upanika, you are
Yeah. Yeah, I'm here.
some sound is coming from background. Someone's audio is
Okay.
yeah. Now it is better.
Yeah.
Yeah, you share the PPT.
Yeah.
This is first time I am having this audio problem, but I changed my machine also now. I switched on to another machine, but still it is creating problem.
My screen is visible.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, go down, go down. We have completed the Turing
Yeah.
test. Yes, we have completed this. Next, 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 next. Yes. I'm not able to see the full screen. Maybe I have to.
Can you see now?
Pin
Wait.
the presentation, madam, so that you'll get full complete screen. Pin on the presentation.
Yes, yes. Yes. Okay. Okay, go back. Now go back. Yes, this one. No, the
Yeah.
recent application.
Yeah.
Now I hope now you are able to hear me. Recent
Madam,
applications. Yes. Now
madam,
what?
will you repeat again the previous two slides? Why? Because they were not able to hear properly. No, ma'am.
Okay, let it be here. What happened?
Okay, okay, okay,
Let it be here. I'll just brief about 2 minutes.
oh,
What in
okay.
and you let me know you are able to hear me or not now.
Yes, ma'am. Now you are able to
The
hear
thing
you.
is in please mute your please mute madam please mute. Yes. The thing is I want all of you to know there is a evolution from AI to ML. So this evolution and what are the applications? There are a lot of applications, but everything is actually a part of AI. And in AI also, when we are trying to compete, we are not trying to compete, the machine is trying to compete with the human and think that I am like a human. That time, the characteristics what the machine has to showcase is that it is very good in natural language processing. The previous slide, Upanika, the natural language processing. No, that no, next. Yes, then machine learning, so that means it should be able to learn, it should be able to communicate, it should be able to see, and then it should be able to think rationally and act rationally. So each of these things actually becomes a tentacle in the AI ML field, like NLP, computer vision, machine learning, robotics, cognitive science. So that is how it has come. So now go to the next. So this is basically the Turing test which is there. So some of the applications which I have found here is like there are good humans and bad humans. Similarly, in sci-fi movies also you will see there are good machines, good robots, bad robots. But when we say about bots, that is a short form of it, they are intelligent agents. Here we are trying to, now we will use the terminology called agent. So it is an intelligent agent. Okay. So the intelligent agent can be a program, can look like a program, can look like a robot, can be a small just component which is being plugged into a drone, anything. So these are good bots, chatbots, crawlers, transactional bots, entertainment bots. There can be bad bots also. Intentionally we create a program which hacks. So these are hackers, spammers, who that you get spam mail, scrapers, impersonators. So there can be all these applications. Next please, Upunika. If you play this, you will see these are two chatbots trying to communicate to each other. Can you play? If you have opened PDF, you won't be able to play. Then leave it. It's a power presentation, correct? There will be somewhere click. Click that. No,
No, I couldn't able to play this one.
no problem. To go ahead then. Next, this will be there. You can see that.
It's a
And
PDF, I think, madam.
I think she has opened the PDF. That's why. Okay, no problem. Yeah. That's why. So the code,
Please open it to PowerPoint if you want to play.
yeah, no need.
Excuse me, ma'am.
No.
Excuse me. I
Yes,
logged in from another
Yes.
device. Okay.
yes,
Oh,
yes. No problem. So this is the bot which can be trained for all possible scenarios, and the ideal chatbot should have a memory, should be able to learn, and should also possess some sort of intelligence. So now there has been some predictions telling that Turing test, the bots might pass the Turing test at the end of 2029. So we will have to see whether it is possible or not. So you got the whole idea, like what is intelligence and what is artificial intelligence. Till now, that's what I was trying to give you a holistic picture. Next. Okay, next you can go through this. It's all in the classroom, the material. Why machine learning? So why machine learning means you will be seeing that when you are at the age of 12, you have some knowledge representation in your brain. You do a logical thinking and act according to the age of 14. At the same time, the same task your perception changes when you are at the age of 24. So in humans we say maturity, it is, you have become more matured, so your rational thinking or acting rationally, the output may be different. So why it is so? When at the age of 14 you didn't have the whole knowledge of the environment, it was incomplete to you because you couldn't perceive more than that. Similarly, in machine also, when you are given a task and in that task the knowledge representation is not complete, it is incomplete, but you have to do some actions depending on that knowledge, then you try to learn more from whatever the incompleteness is there, and again try to adapt when some more knowledge comes later. So this adaptation, when the knowledge is a dynamic, then you need this machine learning. So is it that there are some AI tasks which doesn't need learning? Yes, why not? Like some exploratory data analysis you can do, and still you can think that if the trend is increasing, then whether it is decreasing, whether it will increase or decrease. So there can be some statistical learning also. But when you are adapting to the new knowledge as time goes on or at a different point of time, then this machine learning field comes into picture. So again, do you get all the time examples? So yes, so that is the finer difference between this AI and ML. Very good question. Whenever you are not able to show your maximum intelligence because you have some incomplete knowledge, given the complete knowledge, you will be able to learn and then excel. So that is the fine line between this. So when you have, say, there are certain statistics like Bayes theorem, probabilistic reasoning. What are these? These are when you have to tackle uncertainty. See, there are two different things. One is the environment is uncertain, there is a fuzziness. That time you take the help of stochastic probabilistic statistics there. And the second situation which I am talking again is here, I am not talking about uncertainty, but I am talking about incompleteness. So when it is incomplete and I need to learn from more samples that to complete my knowledge, that time I am going for the learning. Both can also be together. While learning, I am finding that the situation is uncertain. So I have to learn how to handle the uncertainty. So there you will have stochastic algorithms which help you in learning. So these are very fine things. So it's the machine learning is not the whole world with which it solves everything. There can be statistical learning, there can be descriptive learning. You are given a bunch of 60 students numbers and you learnt about the class that the class is very good. Is it a rocket science? No. You found what? You did a descriptive analysis, exploratory data analysis. You found the average of the class is all above 60%. Most of them have passed with first division. So it's not a rocket science. But now if you want to do some complicated task to that class in order to get action, that time you may have to see whether you have to do it using machine learning or not. So please try to understand this finer aspect. Yes, next, Upanika. So these are all the domains. So I'm purposefully telling here this thing is the participants should not think that you have to be from computer science. No, like Upanika is electrical and electronics engineer. I am from computer science background. We both have done one project where the transmission line faults were identified using machine learning. So if you are from healthcare, you are into AI, you can be into AI. Similar to that, finance, social science, education sector, agricultural science, tourism, banking. How is it possible then? How is it possible? It is possible because we all are thinking from practitioner's point of view. Correct. We are not thinking from a statistician point of view. If we are thinking from statistician point of view, we should be very knowledgeable in mathematics and statistics to know all the theorems. So I am taking this workshop thinking from the practitioner's point of view. And you are the king. Why king or queen? Because you understand data, because the data comes from your domain. So if you are a healthcare specialist, you understand the data which comes from this healthcare, which the data which comes from finance, you understand their behavior. Now you just have to use the apply the AI part, and how much it is required as a, if you want to use it as a tool, then you don't need any programming. If you want to have programming, you can just use the basics of programming to use the machine learning or the AI. Next, please. So future trends, every time now you are all seeing, okay, the deep learning is there. What is this again? Okay. So the bigger circle, the biggest circle is AI. Inside that, a circle is there, which is ML. Inside that, there is a DL, that is deep learning. Here, the learning is also automated. So you can see how like learning is automated means the feature learning, which features we can use for getting the result, those features can be automated. So this we are not covering here. That is actually like how our brain works. That artificial neural network is a separate subject. If you go through that, then there will be many variants in future. We from ACM, we are also going to take separate series in ANNs, where, like for example, captioning. You see the image, and now automatic captioning will happen, that here it is a park and the kids are playing. Okay, how it is possible? That line should also be meaningful. So that time you use recurrent neural network. So artificial neural network, then recurrent neural network, convolution neural network. These are all variants of these neural networks, which help in heavy automation, from feature learning to putting the things. So that is a another subset of the machine learning. Next. So that we will take in the next session. Now, please, Upanika, open another presentation where it is tools. Yes, AI, AM, ML tools programming. All these PPTs are available in the classwork. Okay. So here my agenda, not this one. Not this one. Not this one. Yes, day one, this PDF. There are two files, see, Upanika? Yes, this one. So now, because Upanika will take you towards the Python, so I will again give you a brief on, is it, I again want to tell you, Python is the not the only answer, but this is very popular, and that's why we have chosen that. Go down. So motivation is free open software, easily accessible, and huge number of resources, products are available. Next, please. So commonly used by data scientists, practitioners like you and me, programmers. So the Veka tool is free, Python programming language free. R programming also is very popular nowadays for the data science. SPSS tool is commercial. Next. So in the Python programming, we will be just going to through the basics. Remember one thing here, we are when we are doing a diabetes or diabetes field or a finance banking field, the data set is huge. Okay, so if we use traditional way of programming, then we may find a problem in efficiency. To have an efficient output, time efficiency, space efficiency, we use such programming concepts and libraries in the Python, like NumPy for your scientific numerical package it is. Then pandas is for actually your data manipulation, storing, analysis. Scikit-learn package, that is for the machine learning. And TensorFlow Keras is for the deep learning. So if some of you don't understand object oriented programming, it is nothing, it's just a package. You understand the concept of package. So if you import, or if you import the NumPy, then you can use all the functions in that package. Similarly, if you want to do data analysis, data manipulation, you import pandas package and use the functions. If you want to use classification algorithms, regression algorithms, clustering algorithms, import the scikit-learn package and use the functions. If you want to use deep learning, ANN, CNN, and all those frameworks, then you have to import the Keras. So similarly, for each of them, you have to import, and then only. So if you do not import, there will be a programming error if you're directly using a function. Now coming to this programming language, no, there, please. So integrated development environment. So there is an environment IDE where you can open a file. Here we will be teaching you Jupyter Notebook. Okay, the Jupyter Notebook, but you can also have PyCharm, Spider, then there is IDLE. There are so many environment. There are two types of installation. One is you have to go to that website, download, and it is in your desktop. Now, if I ask all of you to install, then you may or may not be able to do. And for me, it is in virtual workshop, it is difficult to control. Okay. So that's why we will be using Google Colab. So Google Colab, it is in cloud, Google's cloud. Okay. But inside that, it is internally using Jupyter Notebook. Okay, so notebook, so in this workshop you will be able to tackle both the things, Jupyter Notebook, which is inside the Google Colab. So you will be learning that Colab, and we will also tell very briefly about this NumPy, pandas, and scikit-learn. Okay, next please. So roadmap. So I have put a roadmap. First of all, learn the basic programming, Python programming using this integrated development environment. Here we are using this Google Colab. You should be set with this Google Colab at the end of the workshop. Next is deeper understanding of Python packages for NumPy, SciPy, Pandas. In this 2 days, we cannot go in depth. For the NumPy itself is a course. Pandas data science itself is a course. So we will just, if we are focusing on how to open a data sets, CSV files, then how you will be able to browse through those rows, the instances of the data. Then if you want to do a descriptive statistics about the data set features, that we will be telling, so that directly you can take any data set and do these basic things. But if you want for deeper understanding as a programmer, please go through separately for these packages as well. Then learn to implement machine learning algorithms. We will be telling you how to use this, and implement mini projects. So you need data set, correct? Because data set will have some thousands, 2000, 3000 instances. So better to use standard machine learning data set. Again, you get it from the UCI and Kaggle. Next, please. Next. Yes, this is about the Python 1991. It was created by Guido van Rossum. and it comprises standard library and community contributed modules. It's a very important concept because it's an open software, free open software, where everyone, even you, can contribute a library to it. Yes, next. That's how it is growing. So these are all the libraries. So it is a rich library. Uh, you can see some of these things which I already told you. So Upanika in one of the session is going to take you to the matplotlib, where it is for the visualization of the data, where you can do some plotting. I think you have to open it again. Not this one, yes. Go down, go down. Yes, next. Yes, this is the NumPy, where basically uh, there are lists actually, and it is based on the array. So the NumPy array object is 50 times faster than the Python lists. So because of the locality of reference, the computer science people background will be able to understand. If you are having continuous memory location, then it in a street all the houses are nearby, then obviously to access each of the house it will be very easy, it will be faster, unlike in a area where after one house then there is a big gap in another houses in some other area, and that locality of reference will be different. So when you are allocating the arrays, it is a contiguous memory location, so hence it is faster. So the NumPy array object is used for the scientific computing. So because you are having voluminous data, so the storing, processing, everything for this part, NumPy array. So if you want to go in depth, these are some functions I have already mentioned: indexing, slicing, sorting, reshaping, combining, splitting, descriptive mathematics, statistics, and all these things are the common operations. It's very easy. Once you know array means multidimensional arrays, you will be able to do it. Next, please. This is about the pandas. Pandas is nothing but a Python data analysis library written by Wes McKinney. And the pandas and NumPy complement each other. Obviously, if you want to do analysis and all the data are nearby, then the output will be very the quick, so the efficiency will be more. So here the concepts of data frame is there, like you have seen Excel sheets, correct? Everything is in two-dimensional row and column. Similarly, the data frame is also comprises of row and column. In R programming, if you know R programming, there also you have the concept of this row and column. So how, as I was telling you, when there are packages, you have to import. See here the example: import pandas, import numpy. So every time you have to say pandas dot numpy dot. So to make it a shortcut, we have written import pandas as pd. So in subsequent programming, you can use pd dot np dot like that. Okay, so we will teach you how to load a data, save a data, view and inspect a data. Data cleaning we are not taking. That's also a very crucial big part in the exploratory data analysis, but we will be telling you initially how to read data and how do you what are the attributes of the data. Next, please. So this is a tool where you do not need any programming. So you are most welcome to do this also, where it is having visualization tools, ML algorithm, everything is there, but you do not do any programming. It's a tool sort of, that is knowledge analysis tool. Next. So it's basically named after Weka, which is a New Zealand bird, and it is written in Java programming. And they are using also programming interfaces there. If you want, command line interfaces there, but usually people use it for a tool. So it's excellent for beginners. So if you are a ML practitioner, don't need any programmer, go ahead with the Veka. Next. Yes, this is how it looks like. So it's all button based, uh, GUI based, which we say is graphical user interface. Next, please. Okay, you can download from here. Next. It's having all these features, whatever we will be discussing in machine learning. Next, please. I'm not able to see the title also. Yeah, I think this is a very important concept. What is, can you go a little above? I'm not able to see the title. Yes, algorithm in ML. So what is algorithm in ML? Algorithm, you know, the sorting algorithm, searching algorithm in computer science. You give input and you get a sorted data. So similarly in your machine learning also, you will give input and you will do some machine learning tasks. You will try to find a pattern in the data and you will try to recognize that data. Okay, so here you please make a note. We try to say we are trying to fit in a data set. The word fit, fit. It learns from the data and tries to fit into the data set. So it is, say for example, 2, 4, 6, 8. So you know 2x. You know how to that line will fit into that in a xy. So similarly, this is what. Now you have a circle. Okay, the circle definition, x square plus y square is equal to, say, 2 square. And now you try to fit in with xy. So you will find a graph of a circle. Now if I tell you try to fit in the data, so you will see all the data inside the circle. So what you are actually trying to do, now we will see the opposite side. You have got certain uh, particular cluster where you are able to see some dots. You try to fit in a circle in such a manner that all the dots are inside that circle. So that's how we say the machine learning is trying to fit in the data using a circle, but when I told 2, 4, 6, 8, the machine learning is trying to fit in the data using a line. So there is a linear equation, non-linear equation depending on the data pattern. So that's how, that what it means. Machine learning algorithms perform pattern recognition, learns from data, fits into the data set. Okay, how it can be evaluated? You have to evaluate, say for example, classification is a task. How you will evaluate? It has properly classified or not. If it is telling that it is human, you are telling no, it is a car. So it is a misclassification. Similarly for regression, you are trying to find a trend that after 5 years, where this, what will be the cost of the real estate in this area. So you have guessed or predicted something, and finally the prediction is how close to it. So that is called the residuals, that is the error in prediction. So similarly for each task you can evaluate and you must evaluate so that you know this algorithm is working fine or not. Go down, Punika, please. uh, yes, these are some of the algorithms we will be discussing. Linear, logistic, decision tree, ANN, K nearest neighbor, K means. Next, next, please. So, what to program in, go up, what to program in ML, algorithm versus model. Very important concept. Go down, please. Next. Okay. What is a model? You focus on those two lines where I am having an equation. Machine learning is nothing but machine learning model. And what is machine learning model? The model, data plus prediction algorithm. Let us take the example of that circle. I'll take some name. Rose Joseph has made one circle, which is also having all the data points inside that circle. Okay. Then Srinivas Likki also drew one circle, but one data is not inside that. One data is not inside that circle. So both of their models. So we'll say Rose Joseph model, then Srinivas Likki's model, then Rizwana's model. So everyone has given one equation which fits in that data, and they name their model with their first name. So now now what we are going to do here is, now I will give you some test data. Okay, then I will tell you this is a data point. Please tell me whether it is a part of my previous data or not. Then you will see that data's coordinate and say yes. Rose will say yes, it's a part of my data, because if you plot that data, it is coming inside my circle. But Rizwana's, it is not there, it is outside. So she tells no, no, this is not a part of this data. So the same data D1 was given to three people. Three people came out with their model. And now when I try to test with a new data, then the three people give me different answers or same answers. And then the expert will tell you whose model is best. So there has to be some expert system. We cannot just rely on the machine learning prediction, is it not? Because finally the humans are only programming. There will be some experts. So that's why when you are having autonomous vehicle, you have to make it safe, because whatever it is predicting, it is predicting. You still you can go at 80 miles per hour, 80 kilometers per hour. So is it really we have to go at 80, or the hospital is near, we have to slow down a bit? So similarly the expert will then rank their three of these models. So please understand, model is different and program is different. Now I'll tell you one example. Sorting algorithm. What does it do? It has sorted 1 2 4 8 1. It was like that. Now it has done 1 2 4 8. So what did we say? A model is a data and an algorithm, correct? So my data was 2481. My algorithm was sorting. So output is 1248. So is this a model? No, it doesn't make any sense. 1248 is not a model. So in computer science, if you take a data and an algorithm, you don't get a model, correct? But in machine learning, if you are given a data and then you are applying a machine learning algorithm for a certain task, you are getting a model. And now if you try to give new data to it, the model will predict. Understood? So now the thing is, the the line which is written in pink, see, it is very, that is the inner part of the algorithm. Algorithm is trying to sort of optimize. What it is trying to minimize the error of the model of the training data set. When I gave that data points of the circle to Rizwana, Rose, and Srinivas, though that is called training model, training data, not model, I'm so sorry, training data. On that, they created their equation, circle equation, that is a model. Now, if I give a test data, another x1, y1, then if it is really a part of the circle, inside the circle, and say Rizwana's correctly identified this is a part of circle, and Rose and Srinivas's, they told no, it is not. So that means what? The error has been minimized to 0 for Rizwana's, whereas for other two, there was a minimum error. Understood? So this is called the optimization procedure which goes on in the learning. so that I learn to the best of my possibility, given the resources, whether it is an internet, workshop, webinar, course curriculum, anything. Given all these data, I should be able to learn correctly to the best of my ability. Okay, next, please. So this is what I am saying, linear regression. The algorithm is set a coefficients that minimize the error on training data set. The model comes with this vector of coefficients, and once we have the equation, all these equation, if you put the xy coordinates, you will get the output y cap. That is the prediction algorithm. We will go in details for the demo. Oh my god, I wanted to show a demo here. Uh, uh, Let me present. Okay, let me present. Next, I think this is last, correct, Monica? Next, nothing is there, na? Nothing is there, correct? That is the one second. I will show you
Yeah,
a
yeah,
demo
right.
here. Visible? Is it visible? Oh,
Yes,
so
ma'am.
here, see, uh, this is, I'm trying to fit in the data. Okay, so if you see, this is actually a data fitting. Okay, whether you are trying to predict, whether you want to try to classify, I'm not talking about those tasks here. I am talking about fitting data. Left hand side, if you see, y is equal to a naught plus a1x. So this is a linear equation. So what are the coefficients? Two coefficients are there, a naught and a1, correct? So now a naught and a1, these value has come once I gave the points. Okay, now I have made, so do you also know for sure there cannot be a line which will pass to all these 3 points. They are not collinear, correct? So it is not possible. So now what I do here is sum of squared residuals. If you see here, sum of squared residuals, that is the error. Okay, before that I have cleared, say if I have given like this, then error is so less, 7.4 into e to the power minus 20. It's almost zero. Okay, and this is how you have got a naught plus a. So y is equal to minus 8.2 plus 2.3 x. And now next x value, whatever you give, you can know the y coordinate. Okay, and the error, you keep a check on the error also. So error has increased now, 6.8. It increased. It is increased. Now how I will basically reduce the error? Can anyone tell how can I do reduce the error? Okay, I'll tell you. I couldn't hear actually. Maybe someone has typed or yes. Change the coefficient. What else? Okay, let me check.
The another answer is by tuning
But you need
parameters, ma'am.
parameter. See, parameter here is a not a1 only, correct? So if I tune howsoever you tune, maximum the line will be moving here and there, correct? So as so here it is a line. A line is having one limitation. So, if we increase the polynomial degree, If you increase the polynomial degree, see now it is trying to fit in the, okay, did you see the error? Did you see the error? It is increased, see it is decreased. Now it is almost 0. But at what cost? The polynomial degree has increased. So now it is y is equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square. Hello?
Madam,
Yeah?
madam, madam, one participant is asking to repeat this demo.
Okay, okay. Yes. See, listen carefully. Our aim here is we should know what is the aim. Given some data points, like the example of circle I was giving, na, like, okay, like this. These are all data points. And see the error. It is the far I go from, the farther I am going from that, the error is increasing. Now, if I increase the equation, still it is doing that. Now I wanted to have it as a circle, it didn't come because this is also being made a demo. Polynomial degree of 1, so it is a line. So here if it is fitting in 2-line collinear. Now if I do it like that, it's trying to reduce the error in the best possible manner. But now if I increase the polynomial degree, has found a parabola which fits all the 3 into 1, and the residual error is decreased. So I found out the coefficients. I found out the coefficients which are actually the used in this equation. Y is equal to a naught plus a1x plus a2x square. That's it, degree of polynomial 2. If I use with these coefficients, then even if I put in a, see, even if I put the data in this particular parabola, the error, see, it is very low, very low. But once I again change it, the coefficients changed. Again change, coefficients changed. But what did I say you? If you, when do you need a more polynomial degree? See here. It has now gone haywire. 14 is the error. So now I increased the number of coefficients, that is polynomial degree. It is now higher polynomial degree. So if you use a higher polynomial degree, then you are able to also fit in the data which is non-linear. So this is called, so if you see, this is linear and these are all non-linear. So the non-linearity captures the data in a proper manner if the data are placed also in a non-linear fashion. If they data are in a linear fashion, means you do not need high order polynomial. You can very well use y is equal to a naught plus a1x. So this is called the fitting the data. Okay. So with this, I would like to close my presentation. I think we will have some 15 minutes break. And hello, are you all able to hear me? Hello.
Ma'am, there is one question from. Thank you so much for your
Thank
presentation.
you for your patience. It was really I didn't expect this audio failures time to time. Thank you, Upanika. Thank you, Upanika, for helping me out in the presentation.
No problem, ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes, tell me.
The
Yeah.
question is, what is the final difference between AI and ML?
Yes, I have already.
Given the answer.
Yes, I have told that time only. I fortunately I saw that question. Then
Okay. How does a linear equation with multiple parameters look like? Another question from Raja Rao.
linear equation with multiple, no, like what is the linear equation? Y is equal to mx plus c. Okay, so it will have only m and c. These are the parameters. You cannot increase the parameters. For that, the equation will be non-linear.
So the other
Ex-
question is from Ashish Sagar. Is it possible to explain significance of coefficient in mentioned formula?
Correct. So this one, that is also very interesting question. See, if it is equal to y equal to minus x, correct. So what is the coefficient? Minus 1. So that means there is a relation between y and x. When y increases, x decreases. Which y is equal to x. That means there is a relation between y and x. So if it is y is 1, then x is doubled. So this is how there is a relation between the coefficients in a equation or in your particular polynomial. So this is, if you see this particular line, a naught is equal to my, okay, there are also one more important thing is a naught is a constant. Okay, only the a1 is the thing with which the x will be varied. So y and x, they are having the coefficient of a1. A naught is the constant. So it's a good question. Basically, it tells you why, if it is output, say y is your x is your blood pressure, and y is the percentage of heart attack. So it will be positively, the coefficient will be positive, because higher the blood pressure, higher is the chance of heart attack. So x will be all your features, which we will be telling you in machine learning. X will be all your features. Here x is only 1, which I told, blood pressure, and output is the y, which is the, so now you can have a naught plus a1x plus a2 x1 x2 also. Yes, you can have a1 x1 x plus a2x x1 and x1 and x2. The degree of polynomial will be the same, only one only, but the feature will be age and the blood pressure. So that time, if you say with age also, the coefficient will be positive, because with increasing age, the blood pressure will be sorry, the heart attack, chances of heart attack is more. For kids, the heart attack percentage is less. I hope is there that that's okay. You understood? There any some pattern?
Madam,
Yeah, yeah.
Madam, you have explained the answer that how does a linear equation with multiple parameters look like? Again, Rajaram is asking that if there is a equation like y is equal to a plus bx plus cz.
Yes, yes, yes. Correct. So here, just now I told you, it is a linear equation where you can say percentage of heart attack is equal to A plus B into age plus C into your BP. So you can have it like that. Correct.
Okay. So the other question is there some pattern in residual or errors which give insight into correctness or appropriateness of the model?
Yes, yes. It will give you that we will see once you r square is your error and r is the error. So these are certain performance measures which we can do, which tells you, like for example, in this least square polynomial, when it was able to fit in the data in the linear manner properly, then we say that it has 99% appropriately, it has captured the pattern. So yes, there is certain r square and r, those terminologies you can use for the performance measure.
Other question is are we providing value of x by putting spot on applet? What is the
This
polynomial
is,
degree?
yes, this is an applet only, where you are able to see the screen.
No, madam.
Oh, no, but I have already not
Ah,
didn't stop sharing. Are you
ah,
able to see?
yes, yes, but whatever the demo, we are not
Yes.
able to see.
No, no. Now it is clear or not?
Yes,
You are able to see this, na?
yes, yes.
Ah, so this is basically not, I didn't make it. This one is from a foreign university. They have made this applet where you can enter this, and the degree of polynomial you can increase, decrease, like that is done. So you can play around with this particular applets. The link is there in the PPT. Here XY, no. Here I am just putting here XY, like if random basis I am putting the XY. That's it. You can try it. The link is provided. I
Okay.
think, thank you then. Thank you
Okay.
for your
Madam, at
patience.
what time we'll meet again, madam? At 12, join by 11:55
12.
so that we
Uh-huh.
can start the session by 12.
Yes, yes. 12 o'clock we will start.
Okay, okay, madam.
12 o'clock we will start. We will be showing, Upanika will show you the collab, everything, so that you can do the assignment also. Afternoon again, we will be sitting with the assignment in the Google Classroom. All of you, please note, any questions, go to the classroom, comment, write the comment for whatever problems you are doing. Myself and Upanika will log into the Google Classroom and answer to each of your queries. And in the meantime, whatever assignment has been given to you, finish it today itself, so that you can do more experiments for the next day. Do not keep this for tomorrow, because by tomorrow end of the day the assignments have to be submitted. Thank you once again. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Tilottama madam and Uponika madam, for your wonderful session. And I request participants to join by 12 o'clock. We'll start the session at 12. And at the end of the session, I'll give you the attendance link in the chat box. You have to fill it. Okay. So anyways, automatically this app is collecting the attendance, but anyways, we'll circulate a attendance form at the end of the second session. So please join by 12. We'll start the session at 12. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
No need to leave the meeting, just be like that. And again, please be back at 12. Yes, yes, same link. No need to leave the meeting.